David, you said in your press conference that if you were offered this position that you're in now 10 months ago, you'd take it all day long. How far can you take it with 9 games to go?
Well, absolutely. I would have taken this when you think of the position the club were in, and we were moving into a new stadium, under new ownership as well. We never knew. We had a lot of players to change in the summer as well. I think we had about 12 out of contract. So it was a difficult period, but that's why I think where we've got to just now is really good. But I think when you're a manager, you always want a bit more. The supporters certainly always want a bit more, and look, if we can do that, it would be great. One
of the common themes this season has been more goals as well, but you carry a goal threat. We've seen centre-halves recently weighing in with it. We've seen Kieran Dewsbury Hall throughout the season, Illiman and Jai, but you've often spoken about needing more from the strikers.
I still think we need a lot more goals. I think to be a success, you have to score a lot more goals, and if it's one thing we're short of, I think it's that. I think defensively we've done a decent job. I'm hoping that we can keep adding to it, and you're right, we got a few goals in a couple of games recently. 3 at Newcastle was impressive, and a couple against Burnley, so let's hope we're just on a bit of a roll of getting a few more goals.
What do you feel is the biggest progression that you've made in the last 12 months or so as well? Because it's a very likeable side, the way they go about the business, and there is excitement within that side as well.
I think the biggest thing I've enjoyed with them is that I think the players here are so keen to do well, because it's been such a bad time for such a long time, really. And then we've added in 1 or 2 players like Kieran Dewsbury Hall, Jack Grealish, who've come with a different sort of mentality, playing with winning sides and teams that win and keep the ball and do a lot of things. So we've got quite a good blend at the moment between it. But I think the players who've been here a long time, this is sort of new territory for them, and a little bit of the unknown. For us to even if the word Europe sort of close to our name, I think is probably strange for some of them. But I want to see how they deal with it, and I want to see if we can cope with it.
Is it an old school manager bringing it all together as well? I don't mean that insulting either. Well, some people would take it that way.
I certainly am an old school manager because of the age. I don't necessarily feel that way, because the players you get make you feel young, and you keep going, and you have to keep sort of being competitive with all the other managers in the league. But no, I think we want to continue doing the correct principles. We want to continue doing the right things at the right moments. So hopefully I'm not too old.
Well, Brian McBride said this week, people asked me who was the best manager you ever played under. He says David Moyes. Not only does he understand the game and can coach the game, then having the ability to manage like he does, that mixture of those 2 things is really special. How do you maintain that and be relatable to the more modern day players?
It was very kind of Brian, I have to say, and he was a great boy to work with, which a lot of the American boys are. But look, I have to keep updated, especially on the football side of it. We're seeing some amazing teams playing at the moment, some amazing coaches coming in and offering different insights into the game. There's new younger players coming in. We're seeing it at clubs, and some of them have got incredible talent. But I think, again, going back to it, I think just keeping to my own sort of principles, disciplines of what I would want, but evolving enough to know that there's a world out there which does things differently, and try and keep as young as you possibly can in doing that. But there's also there's a bit of fashion at the moment of maybe some older managers coming in. I'm seeing Neil Warnock going back, and we're seeing Martin O'Neill going back. So maybe we might just be going over that young stage again. For many of those young coaches, might be changing, might be looking for the older, more experienced managers. We're seeing so many managers losing their jobs early in their careers at the moment, whether it be just short term at clubs or whether it's they've been young. But I've got to say, I think there's a few senior managers who certainly could do good jobs out there. Do
you find yourself becoming more of a father figure then? Certainly more than when you were a younger manager.
Maybe they look that way, but I don't. I still see myself as out there, and in my day, you used to stay away from the manager. You would say, try to get away from the manager as much as I can. Don't let them see you. Nowadays, the players are in abundance, want conversations, want to talk with you, and we're happy to do so. Sort of interact with them as well.
Arsenal face a stern test in their Premier League title pursuit when they host Everton at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday, March 14, 2026, kickoff 17:30 Greenwich Mean Time, in match week 30. The Gunners, fresh from a dramatic 1-1 Champions League draw against Bayer Leverkusen where Kai Havertz's last gasp penalty salvaged a point, sit 7 points clear at the top with 67 points from 30 games. A win could stretch that lead to 10 if Manchester City slip up later against West Ham. Everton, under David Moyes, who returned to Goodison Park in January 2025 and has steadied the ship to 8th place, arrive motivated and dangerous. Moyes, who once managed Mikel Arteta during his Everton playing days, has been vocal in defending Arsenal's style amid recent criticism of their set-piece reliance and pragmatic approach. Yet, in previews, he admitted the personal edge. "I'm desperate to beat Arteta," he said, highlighting his desire for 3 points against his former protégé. Moyes praised Arteta as brilliant and Arsenal as a great team fighting on all fronts, but stressed Everton's need to stay compact, go long, and exploit transitions, targeting Arsenal's occasional vulnerability from set pieces or long balls. Arteta's side boast formidable home form, with recent set-piece dominance, goals from Saliba, Timber, likely key again. Predicted lineup: Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapie, Rice, Zubimendi, Saka, Odegaard, Gyökeres. Everton could field Branthwaite if fit, with Beto leading the line to battle the backline. Pundits see Arsenal as favourites, around 70% win chance per Opta, but Moyes' teams are notoriously tough to break down. Expect a cagey, attritional battle. Everton aim to frustrate and counter. Arsenal must maintain intensity post-Europe to avoid slips. Can Moyes pull off the upset? History favours Arsenal, unbeaten in last 6 versus Everton, but desperation breeds danger in this title race. Please like and subscribe.